back to 360 Sports Network. I'm James Dawson, and tonight we are delighted to have two very, very special guests with us. We have Doug Herbert, accomplished NHRA drag racer and team owner of Doug Herbert Racing. We also have Matt Reilly, Executive Director of the teen driving safety organization known as the B.R.A.K.E.S program, which was founded by Doug Herbert back in 2008. Gentlemen, first of all, I want to thank you both for joining us tonight and for everything that you do at the B.R.A.K.E.S program. If you will, Doug, would you please tell us about the program that you created back in 2008 after the passing away of your two sons in an automobile accident?
I had to do something, and so I started this charity, and we decided the best way to make a difference would be to put on driving schools that would teach kids behind the wheel actually how to be better drivers. And so I got hooked up with Matt, and since Matt has been putting on the schools over the last 4 years, we've trained, by the end of this year, we'll have trained over 8,000 teenagers.
8,000, that's impressive. Now, B.R.A.K.E.S stands for Be Responsible and Keep Everybody Safe. So the main goal of this course, which is for teenage drivers, if I'm not mistaken, is just for essentially defensive driving and safe driving as a result.
Yep, that's correct. Our program is geared towards their teens and also their parents coming with their teens together.
And what is the cost to a teenager or to a parent coming in to do this program?
Well, our program is essentially free.
It's free. We there's no charge for the program. That's the whole beauty of it. And so luckily we've got supporters around like Shirley that you met the other day. And, she's went around in her community and decided that because of her situation, she wants to try and make the teenagers up there safer and better drivers. And so, she's got support from the community to help, to help support B.R.A.K.E.S. Obviously, it costs something to the charity. And so we just rely on people like her to do fundraising and put things together and make a difference in her community. So it's free though for people that come. We just require them to send us a check to hold, basically it holds their spot. We don't cash the check unless they don't show up. And if they don't, because the problem is when you basically, anyways, that's a long story short. Yeah, the whole program's free, and that's what the charity's based on.
Oh, very, very good. Now, for somebody like Shirley, if there's other people out there who would like to work alongside you guys in the B.R.A.K.E.S program, set up their own little chapter, so-called, or even somebody who's just interested in joining the program, what do they need to do to be able to become a part of the great program?
I think the easiest way for them to get involved with us is, go to the website, put on the breaks.org, check out the videos, all the information about the charity, find out about the driving school, and then they can contact us through the contact information that's on the website and just talk to us about trying to bring the program to their area. That's one of the big things we have now is a lot of folks have heard about us through word of mouth and through Doug's, awareness of getting out there and talking to folks, and they want to bring this program to their town or this area, and we just need to somehow find a way to financially do that. We're a pretty small charity at this point, but we get a lot of reach, and we just need to get more help, and get more supporters on our side.
Well, very good. And I think there are a lot of people out there who would be more than willing or should be more than willing to help with something like this, because you hear too often of tragic stories that have to make the headlines where being a defensive and safe driver is all it would take to be the difference. So I thank you guys very much for doing that. I'd also like to talk real quick, if I may, about the drag racing career, NHRA. You read your background, Doug. I mean, such a well-rounded individual. I mean, starting as an Eagle Scout, an accomplished pilot, started with motocross racing. What got you into drag racing as your career choice?
Well, when I started driving, I went to some drag races out with my dad and my aunt. They were both involved in drag racing, and so I think just being out at the drag races and watching them. Once I saw a Top Fuel car, I figured that's what I like. That's what I wanted to be able to do someday. And so when I got my driver's license, I started taking my car to the drag strip and running it. And then when I was I guess I was 17, I sold my motorcycle and sold a bunch of stuff and got enough money to build a little gas dragster, and then ended up putting a blower on that car and running it in an alcohol dragster class. And, so I just kind of started out racing my car that I drove every day and worked my way up to Top Fuel because that was what I like to do. I made my mind up when I was young that was what I really wanted to do, and I kept working at it.
Starting young and now not only a very accomplished driver, but also an owner in a sense.
Yeah, well, owner-driver, being an owner-driver, and sometimes that's not the fun part, but the fun part is racing the car, and then, whatever you got to do to kind of get there, that's just what you have to do.
Well, and then also you don't have much of a boss as your own owner, I would think, though, too, right?
Well, I think, as a competitive individual, I think I put more pressure on me than anybody else could, anyways, to be honest. I think that's the way most probably, business owners, and it's about the same thing, really, between owning a business or racing or, whatever the case may be. I think, you push yourself to be the best that you can be, and the reason why we do this is because we're competitive, and it's about the same as brakes. This year we're putting twice as many kids through the program as we did last year, and next year we'll try and do that again. And I think it's just a challenge, and we've got goals to expand the program and be nationwide. And I think until we're never going to be satisfied with what we're doing because we always want to keep growing it.
Well, the competitive nature always in any athlete, especially a racer, wanting to go as fast as they can, in Top Fuel going well over 310 miles an hour, but I hear that's not the limit anymore?
Well, there's no limit, really. I mean, I was the second driver to go over 300 miles an hour back in 1993, and, the cars just keep going faster and faster, and I've been over 330 miles an hour in the Top Fuel car right now, and, the speeds will keep continuing to increase. I don't think there's ever going to be an end. Really, I mean, as long as there's racers, there's going to be guys figuring out ways to make the cars go faster.
And where does safety come in with an issue to driving a Top Fuel or any race car when you're going over 330 miles an hour? Where does the safety issue come in, or where do people start to say, well, maybe that's too quick?
Well, there's always that, and that's one of the things we teach at the school, as we tell these teenagers, hey, there's a place to go fast, and the place to go fast is here at the drag strip, because a lot of times, we do a lot of the schools over here at ZMAX Dragway, and so we try to explain to them, and I think it puts it in perspective for them, that the place to go fast is out at the drag strip, and that Top Fuel car goes 330 miles an hour, but there's a tremendous amount of safety equipment that's involved with that. There's, great seat belts, a great roll cage, all kinds of safety devices built into the car. There's I wear a fire suit and a Hans device and, a helmet and all these other things. So when we go 330 miles an hour, we're going 330 miles an hour in a car that's made to go 330 miles an hour at a racetrack that's made to handle cars going that fast, with medevacs there and life flight and all these other precautions taken. So we just try and put it into perspective that for them, that there is a place to go fast, and that would be out here at the racetrack. It's not driving down the street every day. Matt and I also try and promote them to take advantage of all these go-kart tracks that are around, the neat indoor go-kart tracks. So you can go there and be aggressive and, go and cut your friends off and bump into them and go as fast as you possibly can at a go-kart track, or somewhere like that. And that's the place to do that. And we'll back to drag racing again, too. The neat thing about drag racing is any car can be a dragster. You just take it, as soon as you take it to the drag strip, and the light turns green and you hit it down the track and you go as fast as you can, and you can come back and compare your reaction time and all your information with your buddies that you're racing. And, that's pretty fun. I think a lot of teenagers don't really realize that you can take your car that you drive every day out to the drag strip and run it up and down there and get a time, and it doesn't matter if it's a minivan, you're still going to have a little bit of fun.
Hey, and you bring it all back to competitive nature, but the fun of everything is what makes a sport like drag racing one of the absolute best things ever. And like you said, it can be over 330 miles an hour. How about going over 500 miles an hour with the land speed record project you're trying for?
Well, we've been working on that, and it's going to be pretty exciting. I think it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be, I think it'll be worldwide recognition to be, to have the fastest car in the world. And, we've been getting pretty good bit of recognition doing what we're doing. And it's going to be a neat project. And there's a whole lot of safety and technology information into the, that is going into the building of the land speed car. And so, some of these things, I think at the end of the day, the purpose as it relates to brakes is to get teenagers to realize that, there's a place to go fast, whether it's a drag strip or Bonneville Salt Flats or whatever. That's, that's the place that there is to go fast. And we love to go fast, and it's fun to go fast, but on the street, you've got to follow the rules.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, I thank you very much for allowing us to spend a few minutes with you. This has been absolutely awesome. It's a great story and something that I think everybody needs to hear and needs to be a part of, because safety in automobiles can only get better, but being a driver and being a safe driver is where it all starts. You can have the greatest equipment, the greatest protective equipment in the world, but I think you said it very well that if you're not a smart driver yourself, all that safety equipment might as well mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Cars don't crash, drivers crash cars. Car crashes are the number one killer of teenagers, too, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. We kill 15 teens a day, or essentially between 5,000 and 6,000 a year, so it's a pretty big number, and we have to try to do something to bring that number down.
Starts with defensive driving and starts with also getting off the cell phones, I think, too. You don't have a cell phone when you're going down the drag strip. Why should you have one when you're driving around on an interstate either?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's one of the things that we teach at the school is the biggest safety feature in any car is not really the seat belts or, the brakes or, anti-locks or whatever. The biggest safety feature in any car is going to be a well-trained driver.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, again, I thank you very much for your time, and if there's anything that we can do to help with the program or anything, please let us know. We're going to have stuff all over our website linking to your page, because this is one of the best stories that we've ever heard in terms of an athlete giving back and making the world a better place.
Well, thanks a lot. Good to talk to you, James. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, and hope to hear from you again soon.